welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Take Control of Your Life podcast. Coach Matt here with Coach Devin and Coach Greg again. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about mindset, mentality when starting up with CrossFit. Now, a little background knowledge on me. I started CrossFit back in 2016. Yeah, 2016. So I've been at this for a while. I quit.
How old were you at that time, though?
Oh, I was 18.
I think that's important to.
Yeah, so I was 18 when I first started up. Took a brief break for about a couple of years. Started back up again. So I've been through the startup process three times now. Devin, you started CrossFit back in 20.
I started watching in 2014, and I started doing CrossFit in my garage in 2016. And then I never actually took a class until I did the Open, and I started going up to CrossFit Morgantown in 2019.
2019. Greg, you started CrossFit here.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it was, I was very nervous walking through the doors. Didn't know a lot about CrossFit. I was at another gym, and they kind of had some limitations, didn't have a lot of weights or a lot of space, to be honest with you. And I was working with a trainer, and she recommended finding a CrossFit gym. She had done CrossFit in the past, and I was dating my now wife at the time, who we live literally a quarter mile from here. So she had told me about this place. She had dropped in, talked to Devin, said she really liked him, and I was the last member to sign up for the Founders Club.
So we got two OGs here with me. And kind of what we want to talk about today is when we start up CrossFit, when we're starting something new, people want to set very high expectations for these classes. And it's not that these expectations are wrong at all, but when you come into these classes, it is going to be a little intimidating. And we typically don't know what to expect. So when you start kind of going into this, you got to have an open mind. And that's more so what I want to talk about was mindset and mentality going to your first either onboarding process, we'll talk a little bit about that, or group classes. So Devin, as the creator of the onboarding process here for our location, let's talk a little bit about why we do the onboarding process.
Sure. You want me to start out with like how it was developed and how it's changed over the course of time?
Yeah, let's start there.
Yeah. So when we first opened, I did a business development coaching, and they specialized in gyms. It was to bring business, and they said you had to have an onboarding process, and they give you a document that has an example. And I, not knowing what I was doing at the time, I just copied their example. It was 4 half-hour sessions where we just tried to make everyone suffer. And what I didn't realize was our retention after that was about 50-50. People didn't want to come back. And so we had to go back to the drawing board, and we had to realize that we were doing our community a disservice by showing them that they couldn't do something. Does that make sense? Every day in here, they are aware that they can do something they didn't think they could do.
Yes.
And that's the difference that we have on our focus. But what I did was I signed up with Best Hour and Ackerman and Fern. They changed my life. But we redesigned our onboardings to have lectures in the beginning. And the reason for that is most people don't have a clue, one, what is fitness, and then two, what is this CrossFit thing that they signed up for? And we talk about it in the onboarding, but CrossFit it's a fitness and nutrition lifestyle. So our onboarding process, we talk about what is CrossFit and why the programming is the way it is, what to expect out of the programming, how your body's going to change, and how to make sure you're getting the most out of it. And then we teach them how to use the equipment. So we're taking out all of this guesswork that was put into the first 6 months of them being here. We take it out in the first 3 days. Session 2 is nutrition, and that is where, if you listen to, I don't know if it's going to come out before or after, but we just recorded it on protein, people struggle with nutrition. And then the third one, which we're changing it up a little bit, but it's mindset. This is hard, but you get to choose to do this hard thing 1 hour a day, and it's going to make the other 23 hours easier, versus if you don't do this hard thing 1 hour a day, your other 24 hours are going to be very hard. And we've all seen people, not to go on a tangent, but
That's okay.
we've been to the grocery store before and we've seen someone who's overweight and they drop something, and you see that look of defeat in their face before they ever attempt to pick it up. I want to take that out of every single person who has ever felt that, because I haven't felt that, but I felt the looking at a flight of stairs and knowing I'm going to be made fun of when I get to the top because I'm sweating through my dress shirt. I want people to have that confidence in themselves. So that's why the onboarding was redesigned, and that's why it's a one-on-one or a two-on-one service, because I want them to understand that the coach truly does care about them as an individual.
And this is, so just kind of backpedal for a moment. We here will revamp and readjust our onboarding process to fit where we currently think our values are at and what we think is best for the members itself, not what is best for what might be easiest for the coach. It is always going to be member and client driven.
That's correct. So if you come into the Grafton location has it as well. It's painted on the wall. The mission statement is up on the first wall that you see whenever you walk into these doors, and we did that for a reason. Every staff meeting we have, I go over the mission statement. I truly believe in that mission statement. That mission statement has changed 3 or 4 times since we opened, but that one sticks. That one, it's hammered into me. I go over it every week when I get ready for the Monday staff meeting. Anytime we're signing someone up, it's in our books. It's the truth. And our mission statement is to help individuals of all skill levels improve their quality of life. That's a hard thing to do when you're looking at individuals of all skill levels. And this is all about mindset and that fear or that anxiety feeling of starting something new and not knowing what you're getting yourself into. The coaches we have right now across the board are aware of how to handle that for individuals of all skill levels. We have individuals that, we have a member, she had a full shoulder replacement 6 months ago, and she came in and couldn't raise her hand above her hip. And what happens is when these people sign up, we have a coaches meeting, we discuss what their limitations are, and we discuss how to overcome these limitations, because coaching is as easy or as hard as you want it to be. I'm trying to make sure I stay on the mindset piece, but I want them to be aware of why they enjoy it so much is because what we do on the back end is we hammer that this is made for every single person, and every single coach we have on staff has to be ready for anyone that walks through that door. And I wish that people could see what we do on the back end, because I'm truly grateful for the coaches we have right now, or coaches of the past too, honestly. But what we're doing is taking out that fear within the first 30 seconds of them walking through the door.
So to kind of touch, there was a little part of that mission statement that got slightly left out. It also could have been my mishearing. And this is where Greg's going to kind of get thrown into the mix. So improving the quality of life for everyone of every skill level through our simplified approach of fitness and nutrition. Now, day 3 of that onboarding session is all about mentality, knowing that when you show up to class, no matter whether it be you're an experienced athlete, you're a new athlete, you're a former athlete, we'll have something for you. So Greg, you're someone that we've both had to work with many a times with how do we adjust workouts. And I think for newer members, it's just something to kind of get across to them. I want you to kind of tell at least how it's impacted you in the gym, how like you show up to the gym, no matter who your coach is, we are going to be here to make sure you are getting the best quality workout, and how that kind of ties into the mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a ton of lower body injuries. I've ripped both Achilles off the bone. I've had 7 knee scopes, preparing for double knee replacements in about a month. So you guys will be modifying more stuff for me. But my mind was at ease. Like when I ripped that first Achilles, I'm getting a little emotional. Devin was like the angel that was right there beside of me, and he put his hand on my shoulder and he said, "Don't worry, we're going to get through this. Just keep coming. Just keep coming. We will modify everything. We will get you a workout in, and that has always been the case. So, my Achilles ripped off the bone, rolled up into my calf. If I lifted my foot off the ground, my toes pointed straight down. It was almost like a helicopter propeller. I could spin it there. Had the surgery. Wound didn't heal. Had to be out a little longer than expected, but as soon as I got put in a cast, still had an open wound, but my leg was in a cast. Came in here, sat on a box. If you were coaching, hey, Greg, the workout's calling for, we're going to do push presses today. I want you to sit here on the box. We're going to get you some dumbbells. We're going to do strict press. We're going to do this, do that. No matter what the injury is, there is something you can do. I mentioned I'm getting ready for double knee replacements. I've already talked to Devin, and we kind of have a game plan as far as I'm probably going to be out. My goal is to only be out 2, maybe 3 days. I'm going to be in here riding the C2 bike, getting blood flow to the area, and then doing 30 minutes of upper body work. So there is always something to do, and it doesn't matter who the coach is. They know, and if they don't know your limitations, all you got to do is say, hey, I injured my shoulder, pulled something. Okay, well, instead of this, we're going to go to plan B. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
If that hurts, we're going to go to plan C. I mean, this gym is the only gym that I've been to. I've done check-ins all over the East Coast when we go on vacation. I've been members of other gyms. This is the only gym that I've been to where I feel like our number one priority is to give you that best hour of your day, give you that great workout. I would say 1B is we're going to keep you safe. We really take pride in that. And I have never, through all my injuries, I also had a massive heart attack. And I was in here riding the bike the day after I got released from the hospital. Our coaches will never put you in a situation where you are going to re-injure or injure yourself. We think you're up 10 pounds heavier than what you need to be, see you struggling a little bit. Hey, let's take the 10s off, put some 5s on, work on technique rather than weight. So our community in general, the coaches and the community that we have built for members is so welcoming. And, I've worked out beside a lot of people who couldn't do something. I'm like, hey, instead of this, let's do this. Lower the reps. Do what you got to do.
And to kind of add on to that, I mean, for new members, for our current members, and even for people who are even, say they see this video and they think, maybe I want to give this gym a try, we're going to meet you wherever you're at.
Absolutely.
If you are new and experienced and you're just looking to move again, yeah, we'll give you multiple options for that workout. If you are the type of fire breather, you want to become that competitive caliber athlete, we can still flip that switch and give you the same exact level of coaching that we would give someone new just trying to come in to move. That is what I think sets us apart from other affiliates across the nations, because we are here to coach for not just the best of the gym, but also for the rest of the gym.
Absolutely.
So, mindset mentality, no matter where you're at, if you show up to classes, we'll make sure you get a good workout in.